Police chaplain daughter abducted in Zamfara seek help to regain freedom. Humanitarian worker gunned down in Makurdi, Benue State. Fire guts Lagos warehouse, destroy goods worth millions of naira. And on the international scene, Israel issues new evacuation orders in Khan Yunis. A very good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. To the details now, the chaplain of the All Saints Police Protestant Church, Mopo 42 Mobile based in Gusau, Pastor Issa Andrew and his 13-year-old daughter, identified as Grace, who were whisked away by suspected terrorists, have urged the First Lady, Tinubu, and other Nigerians to come to their aid to enable them regain freedom from the hands of terrorists. They made the appeal in a now viral video released by their abductors, who have given them 6 days from Saturday, August 10th, to produce an additional 6 million naira, 2 Boxer motorcycles and 1 Honda motorcycle, or they would marry off his 13-year-old daughter, who is in captivity with her father. Pastor Andrew and his daughter Grace were abducted at their residence behind the Kama Hotel bypass in Gusau on the 14th of July 2024 and have been in the terrorist enclave for about 4 weeks now. According to Pastor Andrew, his family had negotiated with the terrorists and paid 6 million naira as ransom after it had sold all the items they had and received assistance from people of goodwill. He said the abductors are still demanding an additional 6 million naira, 2 Boxer motorcycles and 1 Honda motorcycle before they would free them.
Hello Nigerians, I want to beg of you, I want to beg on our First Lady, the Mother of the Nation, please come to our aid. She is the Esther of our time, please come to our aid. Our daughter has been exposed to a lot of maltreatment, exposed to starvation. She don't even know what she's supposed to do. My condition is increasing every day. I'm diabetic. Please, I want Nigeria to come to our aid. I want Nigeria to come to our aid. Assist us. What is needed now is 6 million naira and 2 Bozas motorcycles and Honda motorcycle. Please come to our aid. Assist us. They have given us from now to Thursday next week. Otherwise, we are going to be executed. My wife is going to be, my daughter is going to be sent on marriage. She's just 13 years, SS1. Please help us. Help us. Help us. I need your help. Help us in this very journey. And the Lord will bless you. Thank you very much.
The Kwara State Police Command has arrested 28 suspects for their alleged involvement in armed robbery, kidnapping and cult-related activities across the state in the last 3 months. Parading some of the suspects, who are mostly young men, at the police headquarters in Ilorin, the Commissioner of Police said they were arrested across the 3 zones of the state. He appealed to parents to monitor the movement of their wards, as membership of cults has been on the increase in the state. The police boss also thanked various community leaders for providing information leading to the arrest and apprehension of kidnappers across the state.
The Kwara State Police Command has successfully thwarted an attempted initiation ceremony by a suspected cult group known as Aye in the Agboba area. The operation took place on 14th July 2024 at approximately 06:30 hours following a tip-off received. Acting on credible information, the Kwara State Police Command swiftly mobilized detectives and patrol teams to the scene. The coordinated efforts of our detectives, in collaboration with community policing volunteers, successfully frustrated the nefarious plans of the cult group.
And the Borno State Police Command says it arrested 97 suspects during the nationwide hunger protest tagged End Bad Governance protest. Among the suspects, 7 were nabbed for flying foreign flags, 7 social media influencers for inciting violence, while 83 others were apprehended for vandalization of private and public properties, for theft, looting, mischief, and culpable homicide. The police command recovered exhibits such as illegal drugs, air conditioners, fertilizers, flags, and office furniture, among others. The command's public relations officer, Nahum Kenneth Dasso, while briefing newsmen at the crack police office in Maiduguri, said the suspects took advantage of the hunger protest to commit the offences. He revealed that the suspects will be charged to court at the end of investigations.
3 suspects chartered a keke napep and took one James Luca, 20 years of age, who is the driver, from Dubai area to Shagari Locust. The suspect, after luring the victim to an unknown location behind Shagari Locust, they removed a knife and stabbed him in his stomach, which led to the death of James Luca, 20 years of age.
I just brought them out, ready to go to the venue of the protest, and then the police arrested me. Honestly, I regret my actions, and I plead with the president and other leaders to forgive me. I won't do it again.
Several Nigerians across the nation witnessed the End Bad Governance protest quickly turn bloody. The protest, which was initially meant to be peaceful, however, led to the death of over 20 individuals, looting of several businesses, destruction of property, and arrests of citizens. With the demonstrations now officially ended, many have been raising questions about the legality or not, as well as the impact of the protest. Here's the report.
As a result of the violence that ensued during the End Bad Governance protest, curfews were enforced by several state governments in an effort to stem the tide of criminality. Despite warnings from the federal government as well as security agencies, the protest still held and ended this Saturday with what some organizers have called 1 million marches across some states and the FCT. Meanwhile, authorities are now going after those they refer to as enemies of Nigeria and have made the protests illegal.
As a new government, it was expected that they would sit down, count the cost, and begin to cut the cost of governance. But unfortunately, it didn't have that. So the citizens had a right to protest. Where the government failed, in my view, is that the rhetorics, the threats, and the unnecessary, is it brinkmanship or whatever they call it, with the security agencies, show of force, those were not necessary.
Several Nigerians have accused the federal government of having a hand in the violence that marred the protests by trying to control the situation, as well as dissuading Nigerians from further protests.
For every protest that supposedly appears to be demanding responsibility or improvements on the governance from government tags it a desire for regime change. And they are quick to blame politicians for that. Okay, fine. But each time you have an equal opposite, which is supposedly pro-government, government is fine with it. And on the part of the supposed anti, the security agencies come with high-handedness. There's shooting, there's tear gassing, there's disruption, there's all kinds of craziness that goes on.
According to Osemeka, the arrest of protesters who did so peacefully as well as journalists could give Nigeria a bad name. He further stated that weapons bought for security purposes should never have been pointed at law-abiding citizens of the country. According to Nigerian laws, the country has ratified the United Nations Human Rights Charter No. 12, the African Union Human Rights Charter No. 9, and Articles 39 and 40 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which gives all Nigerians the right to protest.
Within the Constitution of Nigeria, which gives it that power as the ground norm, that is Section 1, Sub 3, that says it is the ultimate law. Any other law that is inconsistent with it is as a result of that law, null and void and of no effect. So the protesters are protesting within their rights. If you look at Chapter 4 of the Constitution, which deals with fundamental human rights, you'll find that from Section 39 to 42. Covers everything that the protesters are doing. It starts from right against discrimination, peaceful assembly, and freedom of expression, and the rest of it.
During the End Bad Governance protest, several Nigerians were allegedly arrested or attacked by security forces. In response to the allegations, Ikpebe says Nigerians must be cautious and avoid whipping up sentiments.
Now, you're supposed to protest. How are you protesting? Are you carrying placards? Are you streaming? Are you picketing? Those are the things you are doing. So how do you cross the line from peaceful protest to violent protest or becoming a criminal? Those lines are blurry, very, very blurry. So it is left for the agencies and the organizations to look at it and say, okay, no, they were picketing. You understand? But at some point, they ran through the door and broke the door down. That's a problem. That becomes a crime already.
Some Nigerians within the north decided to fly the Russian and Chinese flags and called on to the Russian President Vladimir Putin to step in, as was done in countries like Niger and Burkina Faso. Some termed that an act of treason. With the protests now finally over, with little or nothing changing, Nigerians are still calling to the federal government to formulate policies that will alleviate the suffering of the people. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
A humanitarian worker, Chris Tefa, has been reportedly killed by gunmen near Logo 1 Axis in Makurdi Metropolis, Benue State. The deceased was reportedly gunned down on Friday evening by the assailants who allegedly tracked him to his office in Makurdi. Tefa's killers also reportedly shot at the security man on duty while trying to gain access into the office premises. Witnesses said that Tefa was rushed to the hospital after the gunman fled, but was confirmed dead on arrival. His corpse was said to have been deposited at the morgue of the Benue State University Teaching Hospital in Makurdi. The police public relations officer, SP Catherine Anene, had yet to confirm the incident as her telephone line was not reachable. And no fewer than 1,700 farmlands have been submerged, with over 500 houses after heavy rains caused floods in Buji local government area of Jigawa State. The flood, which mostly affected Ganta and Guadayi areas on Friday, 9th August 2024, led to the displacement of at least 1,200 people. Trust TV's Ali Rabiu completes the report.
The district head of Gansa, Sabo Bello, said the heavy rains which led to the floods lasted for about 3 days, adding that over 1,000 farmland have been submerged and houses destroyed, while displaced persons are now taking shelter in less affected neighborhood and communities.
We have reported, to SEMA, we have reported and through SEMA to NEMA, and we have also reported to the honorable, member representing, our constituency, Buji local government, and also reported, to the Ministry of Environment.
Other affected farmers and residents spoke on the extent of the damage caused by the flood and appealed for intervention from relevant stakeholders to cushion the effects on them.
I lost my 3 farms and all the fertilizers we received on loan from the governor because I used them in the farms. Our prayer is for Allah to come to our rescue. We have been experiencing floods, and as usual, the floods have come again, and we lost a lot, including farmhouses that we depend on for our daily survival. May Allah come to our aid. Personally, I lost only 1 farm and the fence of my house, but my father's 2 rooms collapsed. As a result of this flood, houses have been destroyed, including farmlands. My house was not affected, but my farms were.
After what happened to us, we can only trust Allah for help because we are in a very difficult situation. Right now, my husband is struggling to see how we can pack from this house because we are too many to manage in this place. Our fear again is that if by evening water enters the house, we will be forced to leave this place to somewhere else. There was heavy rains 2 days ago, which flooded my house. Our sewage is blocked, while all the sockaway pits have been flooded with water. Right now, we can't wash our clothes, cook, and carry out other house chores. We only get drinking water from the rain. Before now, we have been affected by floods as water almost swept our homes. And now, we are still experiencing it again. We need help.
In its response, the Executive Secretary, Jigawa State Emergency Management Agency, JSEMA, Dr. Haruna Mairiga, who represented Governor Malam Umar Namadi, said the government will ensure prompt evacuation of affected residents to a highland area and provide relief materials to help alleviate the suffering of victims.
There was a flood that took part of the town. So we have to inform His Excellency that this is what is happening, and he quickly send us to send his emissaries to condole with the people that were affected by the incident. It is normal when such things happen. It is we that are supposed to call. But no wonder, there is no any problem from wherever we receive the message. We are here. We want to see for ourselves.
The Regional Office of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Abdul Hadi Tuko, said the agency has visited the scene of the flood to assess the level of damages and reports to the head office for necessary support.
As now, so the quick response to see if there is any IDPs, so if there is any displaced person, so we have to locate them at the safer ground, and then the state, local government, and the federal so will assist them. Because before the NEMA intervene, so we have to see what local government did and what the state government do. Then we NEMA, then we intervene.
In the aftermath of the flood, some houses collapsed with many others submerged, while residents are swimming through flood waters to safer places or to access their homes.
And goods and property worth millions of naira were destroyed in a devastating fire that engulfed a compound on Okwele Lumumba Street, Mile 2, Diobu, in Port Harcourt. The blaze, which occurred on Friday, completely razed the building, leaving residents in deep distress. While the exact cause of the fire is yet to be determined, it is suspected that a cooking gas leak in one of the apartments may have ignited the inferno. The fire broke out around 4 p.m. on Friday, causing occupants to panic and evacuate the building. Neighbors arrived to assist, but the flames had already spread to more than 8 apartments and the roof of the building, making it nearly impossible to extinguish the blaze. As a result, the occupants could only salvage a few valuables, while shop owners in front of the building also suffered significant losses, having closed for the day. Police officers and members of a local vigilante group were present at the scene to prevent hoodlums from looting items salvaged by the occupants. Upon visiting the site on Saturday, our reporter observed that the compound housed 12 large stores and 10 rooms with shop owners dealing in foodstuff, clothing, drinks and provisions, among other goods. The spokesperson for the State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, stated that she would provide an update on the situation, but as of the time of filing this report, no feedback had been received. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up after the break. Kano Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission moved to address artificial price hikes in flour and other food items in the state. This and other stories when we return.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story. This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is the news update on Trust Television. Now, recap of our top stories again. Police chaplain, daughter abducted in Zamfara, seek help to regain freedom. And humanitarian worker gunned down in Makudi, Benue State. Moving on to other stories now. The Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission and major flour dealers are working to address artificial price hikes in flour and other food items in the state. The price of flour had hit 85,000 naira per bag after Singa Market was reopened following days of inactivity due to the hunger protest. Here's the report.
As the cost of living continues its upward trend across the nation, the Kano state government has sustained efforts towards tackling rising food prices in major markets. On Friday, the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission met with master bakers and market leaders associations in the state to address the recent flour price hike following the hunger protests.
Most of these people that are into this business, they are rather not the manufacturers, they are dealers, they are middlemen. And there are some middlemen that are taking advantage of the vulnerability of the situation and impose exorbitant price, which make it difficult for an average Nigerian to afford.
Master bakers in the state reported that the price hike led them to halt production. The black marketers and middlemen are the cause of this problem. Before the protest, the price was 64,000 naira, but just within days, it rose to above 85,000 naira. That is why we took action. Dealers in Kano have decided to cut out middlemen and supply flour directly to bakers at an agreed price.
Inshallah, we will keep this arrangement that any goods that we have received, we will directly give it to the associations of master bakers, and at that point, we urge them to make sure that they distribute it accordingly to their members, so that inshallah, this action will help us to curtail these atrocities.
This agreement is expected to support the state government's effort to control prices for other goods as well.
A fire outbreak early in the morning at the local government warehouse in the Abule Oshun area of Lagos destroyed goods worth millions of naira. The fire, which is believed to have been caused by a power surge, severely damaged the warehouse where electronic products were stored. The fire also spread to nearby warehouses, a gas station, diesel tankers, expatriate quarters, and other surrounding buildings. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, and the Lagos State Fire Service, along with other responders, worked together to contain the blaze. Nosa Okumbo, head of public affairs at LASEMA, confirmed the incident, noting that no injuries or fatalities were reported. The joint response team is continuing efforts to fully extinguish the fire, although the cause has yet to be officially determined. All staff and responders have been moved to safety as the operation continues. And persons whose properties were affected by the demolition exercise carried out by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited are demanding a compensation of more than 160 billion naira. Some structures were demolished along the Pipeline and Tanke Road, Ilorin, by the NNPC Limited in 2018 for the right of way. The victims claimed that 976 structures were demolished by the Nigerian Army engineers on the order of the National Oil Company. Tokpe Ajetumobi, who spoke on behalf of the victims, disclosed that the House of Representatives Public Petitions Committee had passed a resolution in 2019 that the NNPCL assess the value of the damaged properties and negotiate with the victims. They, however, alleged that the NNPCL had declined. They urged President Bola Tinubu to urgently intervene for them to get the compensation sum of over 160 billion naira. And away from Nigeria, Israeli forces have issued a new evacuation order in Khan Yunis as they conduct their third military operation there since October. The order came only days after displaced Palestinians were permitted to return to the southern city of Gaza. Medics and survivors of Israel's attacks on a Gaza City school turned shelter collected body parts of victims and searched for the missing as world leaders condemned the bombing that killed more than 100 people. Jordan said it will not be a battlefield for any part and will not allow the violation of its airspace as the world continues to watch for an Iran-led retaliatory attack against Israel over the assassination of Hamas' Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and Hezbollah's Fuad Shukr in Beirut. At least 39,790 people have been killed and 92,002 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza. An estimated 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks on October 7, and more than 200 were taken captive. And in sports, Nigeria's representative in the 2024 WAFU B CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers Edo Queens of Benin City will begin their quest to reach the finals of the competition today in Bouaké, Côte d'Ivoire. The Edo Queens Women Football Club, which was established itself as an essential reference in the landscape of Nigerian women's football, have a date to keep against as National Guard of Niger Republic. The Benin City-based outfit enjoys a rich heritage of success both nationally and internationally, and hitting the ladies from Niamey will not be too difficult to achieve. However, since the creation of the Women's Football Championship in Niger, the National Guard Sports Association has won the title 3 times. They are the second team from Niger to participate in the CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers after a police team did in 2021. In the first match of Group B, Hasakas ladies of Ghana with Face O Anticels of Burkina Faso at the Stade de la Paix of Bouaké. Hasakas ladies assistant coach Emmanuel Mensah says the team will compete vigorously for every point in the 2024 WAFU B CAF Women's Championship League qualifiers. And that wraps up the news update at this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.